Beyond belief. Fact or fiction? Hosted by Jonathan Frakes. Tonight, your challenge is to separate what is true from what is false. 5 stories, some real, some fake. Can you judge which are fact and which are fiction? To find out, you must enter a world of both truth and deception. A world that is beyond belief.
Examine, if you will, 2 sculptures of different sizes. Obviously, this one is larger than this one. But is it really? Now you can see they're exactly the same size. Remember this illusion as you make your judgments on our stories tonight. We'll tell you which are true and which are false at the end of our show, but keep this in mind in measuring the amount of truth. Very often, size matters. This is always a sight you'd rather not see, a memorial to a recently departed one. Often they're displayed in front of places that the deceased was associated with, a school, a church, a community center. Matt and Denise Russell have just lost their son, Danny, a victim of a cowardly hit and run. They want a memorial placed at the deadly intersection to remind people of the potential danger. And like their son's memory, what they're about to experience will live in their hearts forever.
Danny Russell was only 9 years old when a hit and run snuffed out his life, and I bet the creep didn't even look back. There were no witnesses and no suspects. All I had was a chip of blue paint from the fender of Danny's mangled bike.
Hey, Phil, thanks for doing this.
No problem. How are you two holding up?
It hasn't been easy.
Still no leads?
No, nothing. Sorry. I think he's ready for us. I'd become very close to Matt and Denise Russell, Danny's parents. So when they asked for my help, I couldn't refuse. They'd lost their only child, and they simply wanted to erect a small memorial to him at the site of his death. But first, they had to get past civil servant Andrew Burke.
Mr. and Mrs. Russell, I can't possibly approve your request for a memorial. If we started doing this type of thing, there'd be memorials going up all over town.
But Mr. Burke...
I'm sorry for your loss, but my hands are tied on this.
Mr. Burke, where Danny was killed is a very dangerous intersection. People speed through there all the time, running that stop sign. Now, if they saw a memorial and knew a child died there, maybe they'd slow down.
You're making me look like a very bad person, Detective Duncan, and I'm not. I feel your pain. But you don't understand the amount of work and money that goes into getting an approval on this type of request.
Mr. Burke, we're more than willing to pay for whatever costs come up.
Good. That's good. It's not the hard part, though. The hard part is getting the special permit.
So how do they get the special permit?
They would need an executive waiver, and those are very difficult to get. I'm sorry I can't be of more help to you on this. Now, you'll have to excuse me. I'm going to be late for a meeting. I'm sorry. Thank you all for coming in.
Just a second. You just gonna brush us off like that? Can't you see these people are hurting?
I see that, and I understand. But what you're asking for would set a very dangerous precedent. Now, I really am late.
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
This building's just full of bureaucratic weasels like him. Nothing but double talk.
Well, you did your best, Phil.
I did nothing. I keep letting you people down.
That's not true. You have been a rock to us both. I don't know what we would have done without you.
I just want to find the person who took your boy away.
Thank you.
Thanks for trying.
Just when I thought it was all over, something unexplainable happened. A permit signed by the mayor approving a memorial for Danny Russell turned up on Andrew Burke's desk the following day. Burke thought the Russells and I went to the mayor, but we didn't. The permit simply appeared, and no one knew how it got there. I found out later that the mayor didn't even remember signing it.
My wife and I would now like to officially dedicate this memorial in our son's memory.
To this day, I truly believe there was something that was not of this world about the wind that day. It just came up out of nowhere and started blowing. Strong, warm wind. Strange for the month of November. What that wind did next will be talked about in the 32nd District long after I'm gone. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. Nobody had. The blue car running that same stop sign. That was when I got to thinking. It didn't seem possible, but I decided to check it out anyway. I ran the chip of paint through the lab, and it came out a match to the blue paint I found on the fender of Danny Russell's bike. The case was finally solved. I thought I was working it alone, but I guess I had a partner.
How do you explain this series of coincidences? A mysterious last-minute permit granted by the mayor suddenly appears. A change in the weather kicks up winds strong enough to blow the wreath into the air, and the car it knocks off course belongs to the hit-and-run driver. It seems that the hand of fate may have reached in to ensure that justice was done. Will you remember this story as being built on a series of lies, or have we erected a memorial to the truth?